Yes, team. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Anxiety Coach podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, yes, I'm sat here in my girlfriend's old dressing gown, very comfortable, chilling. And yeah, today I just wanted to jump on quickly and talk about how to make change, but then also keep change. Because I know for myself and a lot of the people that I speak to and work with have been in a cycle of change for a few days, a few weeks, but then falling back into similar older patterns. And I think one important thing to note, and something that can be really, really powerful initially in creating change in behavior, in how we feel, is asking yourself this question: Have you hit rock bottom? Have you hit rock bottom yet? And that can be really, really powerful, because I know certainly for me, when I hit rock bottom, the only thing that would give me some respite from my own mind and my feelings and thoughts and just not being in a great place was sitting in the shower, feeling the warmth on the top of my head, just listening to the streams of water hitting the top of my head. But ask yourself that question: have you yet hit rock bottom? Because sometimes we need to. Sometimes we need to hit that place that we're so uncomfortable with where we're at. We then need and have to make change. Because so often, and a lot of the guys again that I talk to are almost comfortable in their discomfort. And it's more uncomfortable to make that change than to stay the same. And so sometimes we have to hit rock bottom to then be so uncomfortable that we feel we need to make that change. And that change in that kind of scenario uses like this dark energy, this energy that's, comes from a place of almost like fear, a place of discomfort. And it can be helpful if we channel that energy into something positive to make that change. And there are other ways, like changing through inspiration, through seeing someone who's been through similar things and who's on a similar path and journey as you, essentially. So there is that option of inspiration and changing from a place of almost like abundance. And I think initially, and for a lot of us that are struggling with anxiety, or a lot of people that are struggling with their body image, initially hitting that rock bottom, hitting that dark place can be a really, really crucial and big catalyst to create that change. And having that with the right support and the right tools and the methods and ways that are suited to you can massively help. And then to actually make that change, there's a really, really good, there's a few good books actually which I've read. One called Tiny Habits by a guy called FOGG. Highly recommend that. Jump on that if you haven't already. That essentially he's got this equation which is behavior. So if you want to make that change, you've got to change your behavior or your pattern, your thought pattern, your actions, your habits, essentially. So to change those thought habits or those behavioral habits, we have to be motivated. So how do we get that motivation? One place can be hitting rock bottom and feeling so uncomfortable with where we're at. There's that why to help us feel better. Another why can be, again, like I mentioned, that inspiration or that abundant mindset, which usually comes later on down the line. So having that why, that motivation, is a really good place, really good place to start. Next place is our ability to be able to make that change or take that next step. And so we've got to essentially make this as low as possible, make the bar as low as possible. So for example, if we're feeling a bit stuck and we want to get out for a morning walk, get that light through our eyes, get that movement in, because that is one of the best things we can do for our physiology. And if you've heard me bang on about stuff in these podcasts or on my social media, then you might know by now that our physiology affects our psychology. And one of the best things we can do for our physiology is get out in the morning, get some sunlight through our eyes, and get moving. And so essentially, if we want to create that habit, make it as easy as possible initially. So, we can tell ourselves, okay, right, let's jump up, get outside, take 2 steps, and that's a win, that's done. Even 1 step, open the door, get a few seconds of light, walk back in, good to go, happy days. You can tick that off. And so if you make it as easy as possible for yourself to start, when the resistance inevitably sets in, it's then a lot easier to overcome that resistance. So that's the second part, our ability, our motivation, then our ability, and then also the prompt or the trigger. So again, we've got to have these pathways, otherwise our brain will take us down the pathway that we've always been down. And so sometimes having that trigger or that prompt to help bring what we want to do into our conscious awareness and that conscious mind, if we set our environment up for success, that's going to really help. And so set that prompt. Maybe have a timer or an alarm on your phone. We'll go back to the walking example in the morning to blow up and say, right, okay, not literally, but have a timer saying morning walk, take 2 steps. And this is a very common example, but it works, have your shoes, maybe your trainers, whatever it is, in front of your door so that you then have to walk over them to do whatever you're doing in the morning. And that prompt, that trigger will let you and allow you to bring what you want to do into your conscious mind and that aware part of yourself. And it makes it way more likely for you to do it. And still, even doing that, sometimes you'll miss it. You'll step over those shoes, and that's okay. It's allowing ourselves to slip up and then get back on the wagon. And so, yeah, that equation, behaviour equals motivation times our ability to do the thing we want to do, make it as easy as possible, times our prompt or the trigger to get us to do the thing that we want to do. And that is how we set ourselves up for success to make that change. And then there's one more thing I want to add, in that if we give ourselves options, multiple options for success. So for example, if almost like setting up our own algorithms, if X, then Y. If I can't do X, then I will do it at this time. For example, if I can't walk in the morning, then I'll walk as soon as I get home from work. If I can't walk when I get home from work, then I'll walk after dinner. And almost give yourselves like plan A to Z to get things done and make it work. And then that way you're keeping the ball rolling, you're keeping that momentum going, knowing that things won't be perfect and things will get in the way of our success, and that's okay. And so keeping that change is being able to know that and realise that, and getting back on the wagon, getting that support from people close to you, from friends, family, being inspired by watching people inspiring people on social media if you use it, by listening to this, and surrounding yourself with the right people. And if you're not at the moment, how can you? And I promise you now that will make such a difference in terms of being successful in the change you want to make. If we have support with that, that's crucial to making it and then keeping it. But yeah, behaviour equals motivation times or ability times that prompt, and give yourselves options. If you haven't hit rock bottom, that's cool. You don't need to hit it to change. Be inspired if you can. Find a way if you feel like you can't right now. Find those people that have belief in you, even if you don't have belief in yourself. And know that the journey isn't always straightforward. Cool. Nice one, guys. Love you all. Catch you later. Thank you guys for listening. I really, really appreciate it. And if this resonated with you in particular, and you'd like to hear more about the Revitalise program and the coaching program that I run in helping guys and girls be in the best physical and mental shape of their lives, conquering anxiety and living an empowered life, then please hit the link in the podcast description, fill out the application, and I'll be in touch ASAP. Thank you.